Hey guys, what is going on? I'm sure some of you are aware, Fallen's one of the highest rated players on HLTV for his flashbang usage, having a good conversion rate of blinding opponents for a certain amount of time, and just hitting his flashes. So I like to look at some of the flashes he uses on different maps. It's going to be Dust 2 this time, obviously, and just talk about the context into the round, why he's throwing flashes, maybe in the combination he throws, or of course, as you all like to see, just lineups you can even throw into your own game when trying to take control of different parts of the map or retake if you are a CT player. The first one is going to be one you've probably all thrown before on short, but it's the combination and how he uses it that I really want to talk about. So as this short take comes in, he's going to throw that flash you saw him start to line up a second ago. So let's talk about this flash. It's pretty self-explanatory, but one, it's going to blind pretty much anyone on the site because it lands above any of the covers. You can see Nico right now. He's got his hand in front of his face because he's blind. The other thing it does is blind this corner here, which obviously is a very common AWP line, or car, where you can then fall back towards long if you have control of that kind of area. So that's a strong one for both of those scenarios. Now it's this follow-up flash that I really like from Fallen, and it's that one there. And the good thing about this one is obviously it lands a little bit high in this scenario, but it is supposed to land lower on the floor if possible, so it doesn't blind anyone coming up short. And the good thing about this is if anyone is playing that long corner, which we talked about before, it will blind them trying to re-peek onto this. You can see even someone rotating up long, like Carrigan in this scenario, he's trying to come back up to help his teammates out. This flash which Fallen throws, the second one into this one, is going to re-blind him trying to regress to help out his teammates and make things very difficult for him on the timing. And you see that would be very effective as well if an AWP is holding that corner and trying to come back to help out someone like Nico in this first clip we're looking at right now. So that's just a great combination. Nothing fancy about it, but it's really good for flashing off that initial player on the A site anywhere, and then also denying those helpful rotations that could be coming in from the long area. Continuing with the idea of short, the easiest way to get rid of that annoying AWP on the corner is just throw that flash there. Very simple, no lineup needed. As you can see here, it's just going to fly over the top. If they're scoped in, there's not much they can do to avoid this, and they're probably falling off that angle straight away. Hitting the B site now, one of my favourite flashes to throw is this one that lands to the left side in this little cutout to the left where some players like to hide, which is this flash right here. And you can see, the best thing about it is obviously the fact that when you're entering the site, you can see how Cold Zero and Bolts both enter. They entry looking towards the door, looking for anyone playing on the site itself, because you can clear out a lot of this obviously when you're still coming down the tunnel, which isn't susceptible to this flash mostly at all. So this is a good little flash thrown in that corner, anyone rotating through door. Cold Zero actually throws it in this situation here. You see again, thrown in pairs, we'll talk about that more in a second, but ends up being quite a successful take, even though nothing ends up getting two, which shouldn't really happen. Still a 3v3 with the B site, which is what I would call pretty successful really. And you see from Rop's point of view, as he's peeking in, because these flashes are thrown in pairs, he waits for the flash, re-peeks out, gets caught with the second flash, and that's the end of him. And again, stopping that rotation so you can isolate that second player on the site. Very similar to that first flash I threw to trying to stop that long player from helping out. This time it's trying to stop the support from door, often that B rotator, B ramp player. And I now realise nothing only got one kill, so ignore what I said before about him getting two. Now often long control is taken at the beginning of a round, often there's a bit of a brawl there so you can get control of it, flash the team off. But if Fallen wants to take it later in the round, he has a nice couple of flashes he likes to line up for the rest of his team, really to try and control that area. And we can see the combination of them in a second, but it is a nice little set flash, so probably the first time, actually in this video, I'm going to show you a really set flash here. So the first one's going to be tucking himself into this corner, and he was going to smoke corner, I believe, in this scenario, but he changed his mind for whatever reason. And this is the flash right now, and it is very self-explanatory. He's going to just line himself up, line himself like so, and it's just going to be a little walk forward, and it's going to just pop just outside the door. And you can see often players like to play close, either this side of the door, get up close, try and use, I don't know, anything to their advantage. It is quite a common thing to do. So this is going to allow these players out here, and as you can see as they're running out, they don't have to worry too much. This player comes out clearing the pit side, and if you notice, when this player comes out, he clears that side. So that's actually a big thing to note right there. It's just the entry patterns of high-level teams is, first player knows this guy's flashed here. He's not going to shoot me for a while. He's not going to try and give away his position, or if he does, I'm just going to turn around and obviously pay attention to him once he shoots me once in the back. So that's a very little thing to note there, is the fact that they're very confident in this flash, blinding this player for this first player to come out quite successfully and check what he needs to check. Now the second flash fallen through was actually nice and high up here, which is obviously a nice follow-up flash when they're coming out the site. So you flash nice and close, all those close angles, and then if there was any AWPer, he could actually, with this take, if he's on that corner, probably get a pick on the first guy, but then he's going to fall off. He's not going to re-peek straight away. And if he does try and re-peek, again, this flash is here to really deter him doing that, and this player's hopefully nice and close to maybe trade that kill in the end. So they are actually giving up that one potential angle that could be a problem, but it is a nice combination, and really getting long for the price of only 2 flashes is an incredible advantage on Dust 2, because normally you have to use a lot more utility to get control of this part of the map. So actually, overall works quite well. A little bit of risk involved with this combination, but you can definitely see the thought process behind it. Swapping things over to the CT side now. Fallen gets a little bit unlucky to start off with the timing here. I want to talk about when he uses his flashes and his positioning when playing this long corner, which we've already talked about a little bit from the opposing perspective. So obviously he's got Cold with him, as well as Bolts locking down long, so that plays a bit of a factor right there. The fact that he swings out is quite nice because obviously Cold drew a lot of the attention towards Goose, so him just being at that boxes is probably a slight angle enough where he can really have an advantage onto that fight, such as we saw he did. Also, his repositioning here is very good because he's in a better position to help out Bolts, which is obviously pivotal that they hold on to long, because if Bolts goes down and they've got no help there, this pincer onto the A site is going to become very vulnerable. Obviously, Bolts wins his fight, so Fallen is very happy just to stay where he is. Now, I want to talk about flashing yourself back into this corner, as we talked about pretty briefly a second ago. Now, obviously, he gets the first kill, and right now he flashes himself in, all confident, all happy. But one thing I want you to notice right now is that there is no CT smoke in this scenario. Also, Cold being there is an example of why obviously he peeks out, he's more confident, plus the 5v1. But if there's no smoke in CT, he can really only be peeked from this catwalk area, which makes him re-peeking with this flash a lot easier. Whereas if we look at this example here, very similar, Fallen playing the corner to start off with. Obviously no Cold Zero at Goose this time plays a factor in what angles he's prepared to pay. You see he does creep out here and he's looking for this kind of fight. Now as the take comes in from Optic Gaming, you see obviously that smoke right there is a big factor because one, he now doesn't know where these players are going to be dropping from because they can drop straight through the smoke into CT. Obviously that's not smoked off, so Cold Zero is doing quite a good job of crossing that off. But once this smoke does land there, you can see the two players actually drop CT, exactly what I was talking about before. So Fallen does not know right now whether they're dropping CT or they're running along the catwalk. So it's a lot less likely he's going to flash himself out and be a lot more confident. He does stick around here, but notice he's constantly readjusting his angle, trying to play more passive. Misses the shot onto config. Looked a little bit strange there, but you can see he is playing more passive, not flashing himself out. So again, this isn't so much about the flash I'm talking about right now, but your positioning and when you choose to use this flash to get more aggressive onto it. Obviously, if Bolts was closer by and maybe with a better weapon, he can get that first kill, fall close next to this wall. Bolts can maybe swing out and help him. Different scenarios like that, which ideally would go down if you are the SK Gaming side and if you're trying to stay alive as Fallen. But yeah, just small little things there of how aggressively he wants to peek out, depending on the situation and what kind of utility is coming in from the T side. What about taking long from the CT perspective? Where Fallen's job is normally pretty simple. It's this flash here. We've seen it used old iteration, new iteration of Dust 2. Basically, it lands there, blinds players such as Gade trying to run out nice and early, and then Fallen's left to do what he wants. The rest of the take normally goes on to Cold Zero and Bolt. So in this situation, Fallen wants to go back and watch towards short before the pressure obviously comes down. Because there is more pressure, Fallen's job is now to throw this much wider flash, which you can see is much more effective if the players are already outdoor. This isn't a great pop flash for any AWPer holding the door at the very early of the round, which could happen, which was his first flashes for. This one's for the players already out, and you can see it does a great job of blinding these two players once again. Cold Zero is able to swing out here and end up winning these two fights before Snappy eventually takes him down. Now, another thing I love about Fallen in this scenario is he's very aware about short. He doesn't tunnel vision towards long here. He uses his smoke and his Molotov before then focusing back towards long. Obviously, the molly doesn't work out for him in this scenario, so he has to take a little bit more of a risk when fighting out towards here. But that's just a great thing. And you can see, even in this example here, and again, you can see in this scenario here, Fallen is once again backing himself that short is not going to be a problem for him while he comes out and helps out here towards long. So he's going to find this pick onto Gade before straight away mollying this off. So he obviously has a couple of seconds. Obviously he pulls his gun back out, waiting for the trade, mollies it out. Here's the flash towards long, and straight away he's going to come back here to help Bolts. This nice wide flash again. Going to blind all the players. Bolts has good opportunities here to try and get this done. Obviously it also delays the take, and you can see they've got 3 players here now from SK. He's mollied off short. He knows he's got a little bit of time. Could be people rushing right now, but they're going to take the risk. There are a lot of pressures out here, and they're going to end up winning this one. So I just love the fact, again, how wary he is of short, using that utility nice and early before coming back and helping out. And that wide flash is really a good one if you know the players are already out that long door. It's going to blind anyone looking towards that corner where your teammate's obviously going to peek from. Now, Fallen doesn't really play towards B, but I wanted to include this idea of this flash because this is very simple again, and flashing through and having control of this mid area when you don't have it anymore. Now, obviously, players could be out nice and close. Fur and Cold Zero, obviously the mid to B smoke also coming in, but I love the fact that for the most simple flash for mid to B right now is just from this door. If you've got a teammate who can come through, you're just going to flash it like so. See, Fallen turns away from it, and he has a field day. Obviously, nice spray controller from him, but that's a good flashing threat every now and then if you want to help your player come through that CT smoke to really lock down or get information of what's going on mid to B. And that is it for Fallen's flashes on Dust 2. So also thank you guys for 40,000 subscribers. I'm going to be giving away this AK over on my Twitter. Link will be in the top of the description and also pinned in the comments, and you should be following me there anyway. I got some interesting updates coming, which will mainly be posted there, just to do with what I'm doing with CS, projects I've got coming up, so there'll be actually a few announcements in the next couple of weeks. Plus, you get a chance to win this if you retweet it and follow me. And of course, guys, as per usual, if you did enjoy this kind of video or this content in general, make sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel. I'll catch you guys in the next one.